Typhoon Ragasa is sweeping along the Chinese coast. The storm is said to be the strongest cyclone so far this year. Now it's battering China's densely populated Guangdong province after being downgraded from a super typhoon to a severe one. Scenes like this at a hotel lobby in Hong Kong circulated on social media. On its path across the region, Ragasa has already caused massive damage in other areas, especially Taiwan. Now, according to the island's fire department, at least 14 people were killed when a decades-old lake barrier burst following the torrential rain the storm brought with it. Dozens of residents remained unaccounted for.
The floodwaters that smashed into Taiwan's Guangdong swept through the township in minutes. Locals scrambled to safety as homes and businesses were swamped, and vehicles and trees were carried away.
The flood came rushing from the direction of the bridge, like a tsunami. Luckily, I evacuated early, 20 minutes later, and I wouldn't have made it back.
The wall of water was triggered after torrential rain from Typhoon Ragasa caused a barrier lake to burst. Authorities say millions of tons worth of water was unleashed. The overflow smashed through this bridge, and nearby residents had little time to flee.
We heard that there was an evacuation for a few households along the mountain where the bridge was broken. Nobody expected it to be so serious over there. Even if you ran, you wouldn't be able to escape in time.
Now, urgent recovery efforts are underway as locals work through the trail of sludge the flood left in its wake. Rescue teams and hundreds of soldiers have been sent to help, but roads remain clogged with thick layers of mud, making the operations difficult. Amid the clean-up efforts, many are questioning the lack of warning over the flood, with Taiwan's authorities usually able to move people out of potential danger zones quickly. Taiwan's premier has called for an inquiry into what went wrong.
Joining us now is DW correspondent Rick Glauert. He's in Raceway in eastern Taiwan, close to the worst affected area. What is the latest on the search and rescue operation you can tell us, Rick?
Well, that search and rescue operation is ongoing throughout the night here in Hualien County in eastern Taiwan. A lot of people were sheltering in the tops of their houses, on roofs, on the top of vehicles. So obviously the race is on to locate those people. There's hundreds of soldiers involved, as well as rescue workers from across the country have gathered here in Hualien, deployed to search for people. And the numbers of missing and indeed dead have been sort of fluctuating throughout the day here. In fact, the latest is that there are 14 now dead, which is revised down from 17, and there's 46 people missing. The fluctuating numbers, the government officials here are saying, is due to the difficulty in that terrain, the fact that, continued rain is hampering rescue efforts. There's been, extra warnings about possible flooding, which has forced people to evacuate areas as the rescue and search continues.
How unusual is a disaster of these proportions for Taiwan?
Well, Taiwan is no stranger to disasters. It's prone to earthquakes, and big typhoons hit the country every year. 2 deadly typhoons last year. But what's really got people talking about this situation is that Taiwan actually avoided a direct hit from this typhoon, but the rainfall in that area has caused this many deaths and people missing. The government was actually monitoring this lake in the mountains that was caused 2 months ago by a landslide, and locals had been flagging the potential dangers of that lake. And the government is also coming under criticism that there was an evacuation warning, but it wasn't mandatory, so not everybody left, and also that some people were told to vertically evacuate, that they were told to hide on higher floors in their residences.
That's Rick Glauert, DW correspondent. Thank you so much for your reporting.